All right, guys. I'm David Mazzei with Mazzei Formula. Welcome to the cockpit of the MF5 Superlight. This is officially the first test drive on the street. I'm just going to make a lap around neighboring area. I'm going to get on the highway, 45, 50 miles an hour cruise, drive a little bit, come back. And the goal is just take it easy and keep an eye on, the drivetrain and everything. Just make sure that everything's functioning, brakes, suspension, aero pieces stay on the car, don't have any major problems with the belt system. So the priority is to get the car back in one piece and make sure that everything feels good. And then we'll step it up from there with the horsepower and things like that, but it's pretty nerve-wracking. So this is gonna be it, and wish me luck. Let's see what happens. This is going to be the world's first 5-rotor, and it's going to be a billet 5-rotor turbocharged peripheral port SLC Superlight coupe. And so what the SLC Superlight coupe, what you see right here, is a monocoque aluminum square tubing chassis, which is comprised of 3 sections. So you basically have your spider, your monocoque, basically, and then attached to that is your front clam and your rear clam, which are fiberglass pieces. So this car is really lightweight, and it's super rigid, and this is basically a Le Mans style car. So we kind of refer to this as like a prototype, sort of like a Daytona prototype. And so what's great about this car is that it's a mid-engine platform. So we can only go so far with the RX-7 because the RX-7 was designed as a street car. So you can only push the power to a certain extent before chassis rigidity becomes a thing and suspension dynamics. With this car, it's actually designed from the factory as a race car. And what's cool about this is you have to put it together yourself. So you take a lot of liberties in how you want it developed. This car comes as a kit from this company called Race Car Replicas in Michigan. Fran Hall is the developer and the engineer there that started that company. And he wanted to be able to produce cars that could compete world class in racing, and people would be able to build them themselves. So that helps cut on costs and allows you to get down and make something customized that you really want exactly like you want it. And so it's all based on this chassis right here, the SLC Superlight. So this car came from California, and I want to thank Vera Priest, awesome woman in California. She sold me the car for a really good deal. Her husband's name was David, which is cool because my name is David, and he actually passed away, and he was building this car to be a 3-rotor rotary platform a few years ago when the 3-rotor was at its prime time. Back then the 3-rotor was really new technology to see in rotary cars set up for racing, and so that was his dream, was to carry this out. And so what we want to do is take this to the next level and maintain that rotary dream that David had, and finish this project out as a rotary platform in a Superlight coupe. And so what we're going to do is a 5-rotor. That's right, a 5-rotor, not a 4-rotor, not a 6-rotor. So a lot of people ask me, why isn't it a 6-rotor? Why are you not going to go from 4 to 6? Because some people have done a 6-rotor before. And I think the 6-rotor is really cool. There's another YouTuber that I'm friends with that's out there doing a 6-rotor, so I wish him best of luck with that. I think that extra displacement's always cool. You know the old adage, there's no replacement for displacement. So more rotors, the merrier. So I'm all about the 6-rotor. However, there's something really unique that I believe will be special about the 5-rotor. And the reason we want to do a 5-rotor is because a rotary engine fires like a piston motor that is a 2-stroke. So in other words, if you hear a piston engine at 18,000 RPMs, like a Formula One motor, a rotary engine will sound exactly like that at 9,000. So if we take the V10 Formula One, its rotary counterpart would be a 5-rotor, which doesn't exist yet, and we're here to make that happen. All right, guys, so I made it back all in one piece. I'm so thankful for my girlfriend Lindy for helping me get the car out there and testing, and all the people around the world that have participated in this project, my friends, my family, sponsors, people in other countries that have made parts, specifically New Zealand and Australia and Japan. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. I'm really proud of everyone that is involved, and that was a heck of a sounding. I can't imagine anything that sounds better than this. I mean, this is a dream come true. Just hearing the motor is heaven, and I just can't wait to hear it again. So unfortunately, you have to walk before you can run. We can't just jump into this thing and go super fast because we have to be careful. Everything that is built here is all pretty much one-off, and there's a lot of uncertainty involved, and so you have to be smart when you're testing it. At least I want to be smart about it. So the thing that I found in these test laps was that I was having an issue with the clutch, where the clutch was essentially binding up on release. Release meaning letting the pedal up where it's trying to grab, and instead of grabbing, it would just continue to free rev until you turn the engine off. And that would happen, every 10 times that you actuate the clutch and slip the clutch. So I pulled the box off, take the clutch out, and I wasn't happy with the manufacturing quality of that clutch, so I switched to a different brand, and I purchased a Tilton OT2 Cerametallic 7 1/4 racing clutch, which is designed to have modulation. It has much thicker pucks, and it is a twin plate, so it doesn't support quite as much horsepower, but I don't think that's going to be an issue for how light this car is. We don't need to make a super crazy amount of power. So I've got this new clutch installed. It looks beautiful. I also want to thank Clutch Masters for creating this chromoly flywheel for the car. That helps with the inertia. It's also still lightweight and it's very strong. And I like the fact that it's black oxide coated. It looks really nice and doesn't rust as much. So thank you very much to those guys for helping me get this sorted. And so then I go out for a second run and everything is working a lot better. No more sticking, no more grabbing. Everything feels right, except for the fact that I've got this stiction feeling in the pedal. So when the car is running and you push the pedal in and out, and I felt this on the last clutch as well, there's this ribbed feeling in the clutch pedal. It almost feels like you're rubbing a eraser against a mirror or something. So you can kind of feel this like sticky, squeaky feeling. And then when you turn the engine off, there's no more sticking feeling. And then there's no vibration at a static position. It's the dynamic actuation of the pedal that gives you that stiction feeling. So I felt that on the last clutch and this clutch. And so what that leads me to believe is that potentially we have a thermal expansion issue from the custom components of the release bearing. However, I'm not ruling out the possibility that I made a mistake in the installation setup. So right now I'm working with the experts to try to figure out what's going on. Might have to pull the box off again. I've already had the box 3D scanned to check for centerline. There is some questionable data here. We're not sure if maybe it's a little bit too low or not, because we need to actually reference the bore, and I reference the input shaft in the 3D scan. So there's some bearing play in the input shaft, but I'm going to assume that it's probably straight, and hopefully that we resolve this issue with the hydraulic release bearing, and maybe it's not even an issue. Maybe this stiction feeling is normal. Nonetheless, it's something that I want to rule out, I want to be really careful with, and so we might take the box back off the car. I know you guys want me to come to car shows. I'm super excited that you're inviting me and you want to take videos of the car and go do fun stuff, and we will do that as soon as possible, but we got to get this thing rocking and rolling and right. And so I hope you guys enjoyed my video. This was a taste. This is just the beginning, and I hope that we're going to be having some fun in the near future and be ripping. We're definitely going to do it either way. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. I'm David Mazzei with Mazzei Formula, and this is the MF5 Superlight.